Time moves in one direction and memory in another. William Gibson.
Welcome back to the homestead, y'all. It's time to build the header for the west end of our barn. This is going to be a 16-foot header. I have two 2x12s that are 14 foot long, so I'm going to have to offset them and put a 2-foot piece on each end. That is what I had here at the farm. These 2x12s I bought at an estate sale. I bought a whole bunch of them probably 3 or 4 years ago at an estate sale. So the longest ones I have are 14 foot. So what I'm going to do is take one 2x12, lay it down, liquid nail, put 3/4 inch plywood, the whole length of it, and then put the other 2x12 and sandwich the plywood between them, and liquid nail that side, and then nail it and screw it together. And then we'll take the tractor and we'll lift it 10 feet in the air. My tractor doesn't lift that high, it only lifts a little over 8 feet. So I'll have to build something on one end to hold that end up and then strap it. And then the other end I can take my 10-foot step ladder and get up on it and take my shoulder and set it up on the 6x6. And then go back to the other end, unstrap it, and take my shoulder and set the 6x6, set it up on the 6x6 on the other side. It worked well on the east end of the barn, setting the header that way. I was originally going to build the header in place, but my pass load nail gun, I didn't have it far enough under the barn, and it rained the other day and got it soaking wet, and it doesn't work now, and I haven't had time to take it apart, or should I say I haven't taken the time to take it apart and fix it. So I'm going to go ahead and build it on the ground. I'm just going to use 8-penny nails to nail the plywood to the 2x12, and then take 16-penny and 20-penny nails and nail it all the way through, and then take 3-inch and 4-inch screws and sandwich it together. And hopefully I'll get that done today. I may not get it set today, get it up 10 feet in the air. I took my transit and I shot some level lines on both of these posts, measured up and cut them off even already. So now all I have to do is build the header, raise it up there, get it set, get my brackets on it, and then I'll put 2x12s on both sides of it, and that'll support our sliding barn doors. This header here will support when they're closed, and then I'll have just a straight 2x12 on each end that'll support the barn doors when they're open. So hopefully that'll hold it well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how I build a header. All right, I have my 2x12s laid out here. I'm going to go ahead and put some liquid nail on them and get a piece of plywood on it, and then I'll take 8-penny nails and I'll nail it to it, if I can keep the little kittens out of the way. I'm going to reuse this plywood. It came from the company I used to work for. Some of this plywood's probably 30 years old, but it's still perfect. It's good for stuff like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and reuse this. I'm going to flip it over and line it up. These are 4-foot pieces. So it's going to take four 4-foot pieces to do the whole 16-foot header, but it looks like it's going to line up good. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, get some liquid nail on it if I can keep these little kittens out of the liquid nail, because that'll make a mess, and we'll get started putting this thing together. You always want to make sure your boards are good and clean, so that way the liquid nail has a good bond to it. I've swept these boards and wiped them off. There's still a little bit of dust right there, but I think it'll be fine. Oh, no, 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 no. Now we'll line this up with the bottom. And that's going to be the bottom of our header. So I want to make sure that's flush. And now we'll take some 8-penny nails and we'll nail that all the way down through here to the 2x12. So So I'm gonna make sure my end's flush and my bottom's flush, then I can go ahead and nail it. Down here. All right, that looks pretty good. I don't know if you could tell in the video or not, but I'm angling my nails at different angles as I nail them. So that way, if it ever tries to pull apart, it pulls against the other one and it makes it harder for the nail to pull out. All right, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna get me another piece of plywood and put it on here and go the whole length of the header. Okay, now I have my plywood nailed, liquid nailed and nailed to the bottom 2x12. I'm gonna take this top 2x12, put liquid nail all the way down through here, flip it over, line it up with this end so the overhang will be on the other end. You can see the overhang on this 2x12 is right here. I don't know if you can see, but it's right there, so I'll have to put a small 2x12 piece in here, and then I'll put a small 2x12 piece on the other end. And then I'll flip this over. I'll use some 3-inch screws. I have some 3-inch grip tight screws here. I'll use some 4-inch screws. I don't have many of the 4-inch, so I'll probably just put 4 or 5 down through there and then do the rest in the 3-inch. And then I'll put 20 penny nails all the way down through there. So what that's gonna do is the 20 penny nails are gonna go through the 2x12, the plywood, and into the other 2x12. The 4-inch nails are gonna do the same thing. The 3.5-inch or the 3-inch nails are gonna go through both of them and just a little bit into the second 2x12. So they won't go all the way through, but what that's gonna do is that's gonna tighten everything up and make it good and strong before we put it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that, and then I'll do a time lapse on it. All right, little guy, hang on. I like using the liquid nail along with nails and screws. The liquid nail and the actual nails give it strength, and the screws give it holding power. It's a lot harder to pull a screw out than it is a nail. So by using both of them, I get the best of both worlds. It's time to set our header. I have our 16-foot header here. I have my tractor ready. Of course, my tractor can only lift 8 feet. So what I've done is I've screwed a 2x6 to the back side of this 6x6. It's 1.5 inches out from the 6x6, plus it's 1.5 inches thick. So that's 3 inches out from the 6x6. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna raise the header as high as I can get it with the tractor. Then I'm gonna take a ladder in my shoulder and I'm gonna set it up on this side, which is at 9 feet. The 2x6 is, so then I'm gonna strap it. Then I'm gonna go to the other side and I'm gonna lift it all the way up on top of the 6x6 with my shoulder and a ladder. So hopefully that'll work well. That's the way I did the other side. Of course, safety is the #1 concern right here. So once I get it up on this board, I'm gonna take a ratchet strap and I'm gonna ratchet strap it. And then I'm gonna set that side up. Then I'm gonna bring my ladder over to the other side and I'm gonna unstrap this one and set it up. Of course, I have these 2x6s on, so I can't set it all the way. That way it won't fall off this back side. Plus these 2x6s are gonna stay here. And I'm thinking I've got some windows that are 2 foot by 6 foot. They're just old windows that I had, and I think I'm gonna put 2 of them across the top of the header here on this side and the other side. This is the west side, so in the evening that'll let a lot of natural light in the evening, and by putting them on the east side, that'll let a lot of natural light in the morning. So I think I'm gonna do that. I've got these 2x6s here. I have them 2 foot above where the header's gonna set. So I should be able to nail a 2x4 across the header crossways and be able to nail my windows to them. So I'm gonna try that and see how that works. I don't know, I'll wait till I get them up there and see how good it looks, whether I wanna do it or not. But for now, let's go ahead and get this header set and be as safe as possible with it. Okay, have our header up, have our brackets on. See the brackets there, have it screwed and nailed. So we're in good shape. Now I have to put my 2x12 all the way across here and across there. And then I'll be ready for siding and then sliding barn doors. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks for watching.